VJ.
It's James.
And this is
A Sip
and a Shot. Woo, 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 woo. As you guys can see, we have a special guest. Kellie Kells is here.
Hey, everyone.
As you guys look around, we have balloons. We have the number one because
it's our anniversary. Yay!
It's our anniversary. 1 year of A Sip and a Shot.
Wow.
The podcast.
A journey.
So, before we get into that, let's do our drinks.
Hell yeah. Okay, so our shot, naturally, as we do with our guests, is named after Kellie Kells. So it's the Kellie Kells. This is grapefruit, Empress, like grapefruit juice, Empress gin, a little luster for a little razzle dazzle, and simple syrup.
Yeah.
Because we had to cut that taste a little bit.
And for the we also made a mocktail, an alcohol-free one.
Yep.
Yep. And that has grapefruit juice,
Luster dust,
and
seltzer water.
Seltzer water. Y'all ready?
Godspeed.
Cheers to the good.
Cheers to the bad.
Cheers to all the things we wish we had. Clink, clink, clink. Tap it, girl. Okay.
Smooth rolling.
That was really smooth. How was yours?
It was good. It was
Sour.
the grapefruit made it a little sour, but it was good.
Okay. Okay. This was good.
Yeah.
Like, girl, we gonna hook you up when you come back.
Yeah, that was good.
So because this is our anniversary, we wanted to take it back and do one of our first drinks that really like took it up a notch for us. This is called our Queen Neptune. This has kinky vodka, Alizé,
Yep.
the blue one, Hennessy, our favorite, as you guys already know, and then topped with pineapple juice.
Yeah, the first time we had this, it was from a TikTok for a social media. It's probably a social media.
It was a social media episode. Yeah.
The glasses were bigger. The drink was strong, and I don't know what happened on that episode.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember what we did on that episode,
but I just knew we were drunk.
Yeah,
drunk,
and at home.
Yeah.
So, and also for Kellie, we have a blackberry. Kellie is doing alcohol free. So we have blackberry, mint, some blackberry seltzer water, and a little, is that it? I think that's it.
Lime juice.
Oh, lime juice.
Yes.
Because you know we got a little something.
Yeah. BJ likes straws, so we use straws.
Let's see.
It's just easier to drink. Cheers. Ooh,
Cheers.
my glass is
Cheers,
frozen.
ladies.
Yes. Cheers, ladies. Delicious as always.
Still dangerous.
Is yours refreshing?
Is it
So refreshing.
Is it?
Yes, it really is.
Yay.
Because we do have a lot of people who ask us for mocktails and light kind of drinks that don't. So if you wanted to make that, sprinkle that with a little alcohol, you could
Add whatever alcohol you want, really.
Rum. Yeah.
Probably rum or vodka.
Sorry, guys.
It's
I just
fine.
had to respond to a text because I'm gonna just start taking over.
Yes,
Yeah,
go for
go
it.
for it.
Well, wait.
Oh yeah, no
Wait. So Kellie Kells has been a listener. I keep calling her Kellie Kells because she's Kellie Kells to me. She has been a listener from the very beginning. She was our first email on our email address. She's given us so many topics. So we thought it was only right that we bring our girl in.
Yeah.
We have known her just as long as we've known all of our other guests that we've had.
Years, to be
Some
exact.
of our college days. So we decided we are hands off this episode. We're going to let her take over. Any questions, any topic is all her. So before we do
I
that.
was gonna say, what point is the shot?
So our first shot on a Sip and a Shot was Jack Daniels.
Yep, our very first episode, the one to kick us off, and VJ thought, because I'm placing the blame on her, it would be a great idea to do a shot of Jack, even though we've already taken a shot of gin, and we're drinking Hennessy and kinky vodka and blue Alizé.
So wait, hold on. Why did y'all choose Jack for the first episode?
I feel like we were just trying to figure something out. We knew it was going to be a sip and a shot, but we just didn't know what drinks to do.
Yeah, and Jack we had already.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we were like, okay, we're just going to go with Jack Daniels, and then we'll figure the rest out later.
Yeah, that's an easy shot.
Is
we
it?
love taking Jack. I love taking Jack.
VJ loves taking shots of Jack.
Jack straight, not Jack honey.
No, don't. Jack honey's too sweet to me.
Same
Okay.
here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So y'all agreed on that?
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
So cheers to a year, friend.
Cheers.
Woo!
Yeah.
All right, we're hands off. We kicking it to Kelly.
Yeah, okay, so let me
Let's get
just
ourselves
start
together.
by saying that these ladies make it look so easy, but I'm so nervous right now. I told them earlier, I was like, I don't do well knowing I'm being recorded, and they make it look so easy. If you just listen on the actual podcast, you all make it sound so easy, so kudos to y'all. But we're going to truck through this. But every now and then, I might have to respond to a text from my mom because we were going to start at 1:30.
In typical fashion, it's 4:39 right now.
So
sorry.
close enough to 1:30, but Killer Kells, where did this name come from? Why? When is the moment we decided it was going to be Killer Kells?
In my phone, your name was Killer Kells, the real MVP. Champ.
Okay.
I have Kelly is one of Kiana hated when I did this. She's one of my line sisters, and a lot of our college experiences have been together.
Okay.
So I think Killer came from how you and I would like have fun at parties,
Okay.
and like sometimes I think, okay, we're gonna be real. I think some men thought that they can do and say whatever to us, and you had just the right comebacks
I'll take that.
to like kill that thought.
Okay.
So that's where Killer Kells came from. For me.
I like that.
It's like that's not how it's going wrong.
Okay.
Yeah.
I never questioned it. I rolled with it. So
Killer Kells.
I got it.
It was
I
like
that.
we not like there are certain things you can mess with and there's certain things you can't mess with. Certain some people you can try and other people you can't try.
She was shutting that down.
She shut it down, and it gave for me. It was like, okay, yeah, we shut the shit down. Like, you know, like it rubbed off.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay.
That's why I call you Killer Kells.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm trying to remember, Jamie, when we first started hanging out, I'm trying to remember if I was already Killer at that point.
You were already.
I was already Killer.
Yeah, it was just inherited. It was just. I was like, oh, Killer Kells, cool. That's what it is. And then as days went on, I was like, definitely Killer Kells.
It makes sense
It
for her,
makes
right?
sense, yes. I was like
Yeah.
sitting here while you were talking, thinking about all the like shenanigans, and I was like, yeah.
Like if you need somebody to check anyone, like it was. I don't know if she's gonna be sharing this story.
I
But
was
I'm
like,
anyway.
step light.
I think I've talked about when we were at this party and the girl who my like first ex had cheated on me with was at the party, and Kelly was over playing a game with like some other people, and I went over there and I told her. She put everything down. She said, "What's up? What are we doing? Like, what do you want to do?" And I was like, "I think I just want to drink." She passed me shots, and we had a good time, like that kind of vibe. It's like, what do you want? However you want to do it, we're gonna do it.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
like that's what it is for
That's
me.
good to know. I was really interested, and okay, I like that answer a lot. That sits well with me.
Yeah, nothing bad. I'm positive.
No. I knew that. So also, I just want to say, and let me say that I came early and I got ready with the girls, and we did makeup, and I watched them make drinks. And as I was watching this process, I had so many questions, and I didn't write them down, and I'm so mad because I'm hoping they come back to me. But the first question I have, because I'm an avid listener of the show, as they said, haven't had a chance to watch as much because I have a daughter, and the only time I really get to myself is when I'm driving, so I can't watch them, or when I'm trying to put her to sleep when she needs pitch black rooms, I usually listen. So I haven't really seen, I don't know if you all have ever recorded, other than the reels, your process for making the drinks. But maybe you just do the reels.
Yeah, we do.
So my first question is, who chooses? Is Jamie Sunday? Is DJ Sunday? Is Jamie Sunday? How does that work? The process of choosing the drinks and the shots.
It's a very joint process. It's usually a Friday, and we're like,
What are we drinking?
what are we drinking, and
Okay.
what are we talking about?
Okay.
And then so it used to start off as, depending on the topic, we tried to find a drink that went along with it. So like all the Halloween episodes have very like spooky drinks, and we're like, okay, that's a theme that we can go with easily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as the world opened up, I feel like, and we got busier. It was kind of like, okay, I saw this on Instagram, let's try making it, or
let's give our own little twist to it.
Yeah, or we've been drinking dark liquor for 3 weeks now, let's switch it up.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, do you really need more Hennessy?
Yeah.
You can always use more Hennessy.
So most of your inspiration does come from social media?
Social media, like Pinterest.
Yeah, Pinterest, that kind of thing. If we see something on Facebook or TikTok, but also like websites, like blogs.
Okay.
Some bartenders have blogs, and it's like, oh, you should try that.
Or flavors, we just like, okay, I really need something like light this week, so can we do this?
And then sometimes we'll make drinks up, because I'm like, I don't really want something heavy, or she doesn't want anything like too sweet. Okay. So I'm like, we'll just like, we'll make it up.
And definitely based on the liquor that we already have in stock.
Resourceful.
Because
it's
this first year,
I could imagine.
Learned a lot about the amount of money you spend on alcohol, garnishes, fruit at the grocery store, fruit juices.
The gas to go get it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I have a whole liquor cabinet. Like, we're not buying anything else.
Yeah, so I was watching you all make these drinks, and obviously you had to make an extra one because today is a non-drinking day for me, and you all, you don't hold back with your drinks at all. Like, they're multi-ingredient drinks, so I can imagine that really adding up. Okay, last year, favorite drink over the past year.
Love Potion 69.
Love Potion 69. So that was tequila, pomegranate juice, lime juice.
And I feel like there's
like a triple sec.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was really, really good.
Okay.
My favorite one, and I think it was my favorite one because we got like blasted. My birthday drink.
The pink lemonade
it was a
champagne.
Pink lemonade champagne.
Which I actually made on Friday because my friend's birthday boat thing, and I was like, I don't have any alcohol at the house. What's the easiest drink I can make? And I was like, champagne, pink lemonade, tequila.
Oh,
done.
God.
It was like...
Yeah.
And it tasted good.
Yes.
It was delicious. It was like a mimosa.
Champagne?
Girl.
It tastes so good.
We'll do a brunch and do it.
Yeah, that was the episode we decided to chug it on. And we had a carafe of it. So we were like, all right, chug this glass, pour again.
Oh, you want to know who we got chugging from?
Jamie.
Funny enough, not me.
That's what we always used to do at college, because it would be like, let's chug it so we can get to the next drink and like just have a good time.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite shot past year.
I feel like yours would be that tahini one.
You keep saying that, and it's not. I mean, it was good.
It was good.
That was the Mexican candy shot. It was good, surprisingly good. But I don't know if that was my favorite. It might be like the pineapple upside down we recently did. Yeah. It was really good.
No.
No. I know what the worst shot was.
What was the
what's
worst
the worst shot? Wait, hold on. Let me get favorites, and then I'm going to ask about worst. So I didn't even think about that. So thank you for that.
I gotta look to see like what the worst shot was.
Oh my!
The best shot.
When we first started, we had a spreadsheet of all the shots and drinks.
It was
dead now.
It's written down because we put it on the
Instagram.
It was this Snickers shot that was really good. We did like a candy thing.
That was a good one.
The Snickers shot was really good. And then I know what my worst shot is. Okay. This Black Girl Magic cocktail. I know we already talked about sips, but it was Hennessy
that was
and
really
Alizé.
good.
That was really good.
Okay.
That was a really good one.
Wait, just Hennessy and Alizé?
Just Hennessy and Alizé.
It's
Why
Hennessy.
gotta be the Black Girl Magic shot? That's gotta.
No, listen.
For those of you who are just listening, Ron could just show me the picture.
That's not true. Okay, it was Hennessy, Alizé Gold, Passion, Luster Dust, and pineapple juice.
Thank you, Jamie. That helps a lot.
This does look ghetto.
I'm trying to tell you. That's good.
That drink was good though.
Okay.
It was so good.
That was our 9th episode.
Oh, my favorite had to be French Kiss.
What was in that?
It was, or not French Kiss, Strawberry Kiss. So we had a tequila rose like cream.
And those
then
drinks are so good.
I think Bailey's liqueur. We did it for like our Valentine's Day kind of vibe. Oreo cookies. Shaking out. That was really good. Yeah.
It was good.
And did you tell me favorite shot?
That was so Strawberry Kiss was a shot.
That's a shot.
Yeah, that was a shot.
And Black Girl Magic was a favorite drink.
Was a sip, yeah.
Any drink you all would say we don't need to make that again. That was not what we thought it was gonna be.
peach milkshake, peach bourbon.
I remember that
milkshake.
one.
Oh,
It came out more like a smoothie, right? It wasn't.
Yeah.
Like
It was
really-
not good. I don't even think we finished it. I think we took like a few sips and we're like, okay, let's drink
It didn't
something
even
different.
taste good.
No.
Because the peach, like the peach fruit, because we use fresh fruit,
Uh-uh.
and the like frozen, the consistency and texture wasn't.
Yeah, it got real gloopy.
What liquor was in it?
Bourbon, like I think we used peach Jim Beam.
Yeah.
That's a lot of peach.
Yeah,
It wasn't
we
like
had a
the
recipe.
taste would have been good.
Let me
It
get
was
this
just
balloon out my hand. It's probably going to be all on the mic. I'm usually texting VJ like, you need to speak louder. Like, I can't hear you. I'm sitting here rubbing the balloon in the mic. So let me stop doing that.
It was just, it wasn't too peach. It didn't taste like peach at all. Like
No.
it wasn't like a flavor. And then we put like ice cream in it to give it a milkshake
It
taste.
just didn't work.
It just
out.
didn't work.
What
out.
did you use to like blend it with? Just a regular smoothie type blender?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And like for a milkshake, you need like a milkshake kind of.
but we've learned that frozen drinks are not our thing.
The one we did with Kendall was good.
Yeah, I think because we followed that to a T. Everything else, we were like, okay, add more ice.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
add more ice. Or the milkshake one we tried to do on Instagram Live was just a hot mess. That was our first Instagram Live. It was
It was the
wild.
best picture.
Wait a
Yes.
minute. Is this the one where somebody got cut? Somebody cut themselves on one of your lives.
Oh no, that was the second one where VJ decided it was a good idea to like take more shots. She was like, if y'all do this, we'll take another shot. And then we had to take shots. And then she cut herself.
And it ended up her almost bleeding out.
Yeah, and everybody was like, we can see the blood. And I was like, well, she's going to get a Band-Aid. A one-man show now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you agree that that's your least favorite drink as well?
My least favorite drink was this anything where a clump of like Bailey's or so it was this what was the shot called?
Strawberry shortcake.
Yeah, it was a strawberry shortcake shot and it's a
I
clump.
thought you just said that was your favorite.
No,
A
strawberry
strawberry
kiss.
Oh.
So the strawberry shortcake, we made it and then we put it in the refrigerator so to make the other drink and it clumped up. So when you're taking a shot, you get this big clump of like milk in the back of your throat and you're just like,
No.
this is not gonna work.
Yeah.
Like, it's not-
Okay.
and it didn't like the consistency just wasn't good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. So I will say, let me see. It might have been the King Neptune. There was one drink. I was on your social media earlier today, and I was going to tell you though I haven't tried it.
Okay.
The one I thought for sure would be one I would want you all to make me. It was the. I feel like it was very.
like I
First
know.
of all, this Hennessy Sangria looks amazing, by the way.
Oh, and the strawberry margarita.
Strawberry Henny
Hennessy.
margarita.
That was good.
That is a good drink. That's a good picture.
Yeah. Sometimes we're like, why do we make our podcast around drinks? Because when we got back from Miami,
It was
I was
like,
like, I'm
we
not
not doing
drinking.
that.
And you know, I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was a little disappointed y'all didn't drink.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed. What is this one? Oh yeah, what's this called?
What's the
What's this
picture?
one?
I knew
One and done.
Oh, okay.
One
Yeah, and we actually, for today's episode, talked about doing that drink. But every time I've made it after that, the picture does not come out. Like, it doesn't
Really?
look like
that
that.
picture looks amazing.
VJ was here by herself that week. That was the one we did separately.
Oh, and I made that.
Yeah, you made it,
Oh.
and I was like, mine comes out looking like swamp water.
So you always make the drinks.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah.
Why is that?
We tried it the other way.
Okay.
And I think personality-wise and talents have pushed us the opposite way. VJ's real good with the camera.
I think I'm really good with a camera. And I'm not, she's more patient to like measure things out. Like when I bartended, I didn't like measuring things out. I just like free pour.
I hate measuring things out, but I do it for the public.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I'm always like, I wish I had my pours so I could just pour instead of measuring it. But I know for probably Instagram or other people,
Yeah.
it's easier to have a
Okay.
measure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But, and I feel like I'm more on like social media and like
Yes.
I like how a camera works.
And
So
I'm
it's just
like, no.
easier. Yeah, she's not patient.
You're not on social media as much? You're not a big social media person?
I don't post on social media,
Yeah.
maybe in my story.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely more of a like, oh, I'll watch.
Okay.
But she's more like, let me make this video, let me do a TikTok, let's do
Lord,
this.
yes.
And I'm like, you have a better idea of what you
Like,
want visually.
yeah, just knowing like how to move a camera kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Jamie will be like, see, I'm the type that'll take 100 pictures and she's like, you got like two.
Two.
Yes.
Yes. That's That's done.
Okay.
And we did, first it started off with me taking the videos or pictures, and I was like, she was giving like direction, and I was like, yeah, no, you can take this role, and I'll take this role.
Yeah,
It
so you
worked
learn
out.
as you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
So 1 year of a sip and a shot. Let me ask you all this. Not even how did your year go with the podcast. How have you all been this past year? It's just been a year in general. How has this past year been for you all? I haven't caught up with both of them in forever. I caught up with Veronica, I feel like a couple times over the summer, but I haven't seen Jamie in forever. So
Yeah.
how's this year been?
This year has been, I think for everyone, it's just been rough. But it's like, I feel like COVID and quarantine have been both positives and negatives.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, of course, we know the negatives. We know, like,
Yeah.
2020 was a rough year.
Yeah.
But the positives, like, a positive for me, as I always say, is the podcast. And it, like, gave me time to, like, really sit and do something that I've been wanting to do. We've been talking about doing a podcast for years.
Yeah.
Like,
Really?
Yeah, we talked about it for years.
And why a podcast?
I think it's the only way to talk. So it came from our phone calls after work. Like it was I get off work, call VJ, and that's our drive home, or like a drunken night going home. And those conversations, it's like, how do you get those conversations out to the world? And a podcast just seemed to be the easiest way. And then,
because I would be like, for a minute, Jay would be like out drinking, having a good time. She would talk to me on the way home. And so I would just be like writing stuff down because she would say some off the wall stuff.
yeah. It's a lot of ranting. It's a lot of ranting.
and you know, like when you're in that mode, you have a lot of like good advice or like good, like, yeah, that makes sense. But you can't tell her that because she's already moved on to the next subject.
Yeah.
And then after work, we would just talk about what's going on in each other's lives and what's going on in our friends' lives and how we can like help or like work and things like that. And I'm like, that would, and then I would listen to podcasts and I'm like, I could do that.
We could do that.
Like we could do that. So
Any one podcast that really inspires you all? No.
No, I don't even listen to podcasts like this. I listen to.
I don't either. This is my only one.
My Favorite Murder.
Same. Well, 48 Hours.
Okay.
Yeah.
I listen to My Favorite Murder, and I was like, be in there cracking up, and that's what made me be like, we could do this, because they started off and they're like, we are not experts. We just wanted to sit down. We like talking about true crime. Here we are on the couch. There might be a cat in the room. There might be drinks. Somebody might burp. It's what it is. And I was like, that took okay, we could really do that.
For me, so my my favorite podcast is called, not favorite, but the one that like really got me into podcasts is called Horrible Decisions.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of it. So it's a podcast with two young black women like our age who talk about kinks. And I realized I'm really interested in like sex and kinks and like hearing their stories. This might not be things that I would ever or desire to experience, but just different things. I'm like, what in the world? But the thing that got me is they weren't friends, they were friendly, and they just talked about everything.
Yeah.
And like nothing was off the wall or like off the so when I thought about it, I was like, I could just like, I talked to all of my friends and I could just talk. And like she's wild, she's as wild if not more wild in different ways than me. Then I'm like, we can do that. Yeah. Like, why not?
Okay, so you all said we should do a podcast, and then what was the next step after that? Did you have to research how to set up a podcast?
Yes.
What was next?
It was funny because we had talked, like I said, we talked about doing it for like 2 years. And then I'm sitting here during quarantine by myself.
Why were you just talking about it for 2 years? Why didn't you move out on it when you first
just
started
being
talking about
busy.
It?
Yeah.
Like, and not having time, not really knowing where to start. And I was sitting, and she was like, VJ, what did you do today? I was like, so I bought a mic. Like,
and I was like, send me the mic.
Send me the mic that you bought.
one.
She bought it that night.
Yeah.
And so then we figured out how to record. Like, so we were up in my office figuring out different software, figuring out the best recording device, like how to get the mics logged in, which was like,
we didn't record till 9 o'clock that night. And I think I came over at like 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it's the ultimate test of like, do you really want to do this?
this?
But we were like, we'll figure it out. Like, whatever, we'll figure it out. And and then so I think we got to record it, and then it was like figuring out how to upload it, because I thought like you just upload it to Apple and then it just goes.
Yeah, our podcast got rejected by Apple the first time.
Explicit content
because it was like it was listed, but something happened. And when you get rejected, you can't go in with that account anymore. So we had to come with a whole new account. And then it was like, is this even the right thing to do it on? And then even pulling the trigger on releasing it was hard. So we did 8 episodes, which you wanted to do a bunch anyway, so people could like listen to a bunch of it.
Like I took a master class on podcasting. Just so it was, and they said have episodes in the bank. So that you can just release them all at once and then get on the schedule. Okay. So that's what I was like, okay, cool.
Okay. Yeah. It was just,
and then, here's the thing. So you have to, there are podcast websites that you like create a link. And then that link goes out to the different streaming networks.
You have to have an RSS feed that you have to plug into every single podcast network. And then.
That we didn't know.
Yeah. You upload it. And we started off with one company, switched companies halfway through, not even halfway through, the first season, like I think the first 10 episodes we switched. Yeah. And then got invited back by that first company. Yeah. And
they reached out.
Yeah.
No idea all of this went into.
Neither did we, but it was like, the stuff we talk about is fun. Oh, yeah, the stuff we talk about is just fun and light.
It is. Well, something that I've noticed in season 2 is I feel like you all did have some informative topics, inspirational topics. It definitely wasn't just like girl chat. Yeah. And honestly, I thought that I was just coming to celebrate is this the end of season 2?
No.
Oh, so we're celebrating the 1 year.
Yeah, we're celebrating the 1 year.
So I can go all the way back from the beginning.
Yeah.
See, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I thought it was just season 2.
No, I
feel like we already said we needed a part 2.
You have to have a part 2. I have 3.
Okay, we will do a part 2.
Okay. And
we'll have you try the drinks for this week and make new drinks.
That would be amazing. Yeah. Okay. Because like they said, I'm an avid listener. Where do you all usually look? Because I don't know.
You can look
anywhere.
I'm looking right here. We got you.
It's all
I'm an avid listener. I've been listening from the beginning. First of all, thank y'all for this podcast because it really was a rough year and there was very few things to kind of take my mind off of the craziness, and this was definitely one of them. And then Veronica, I always knew that you just had the gift of speaking in a great way, but you all compliment each other so well. You really do. Jamie, it's very entertaining listening to you. It really is. Like, I don't know if it's just the matter of factness or what it is, but it's great listening to you. You all are really good personalities. It meshes well. So, me listening from the beginning, I should have, this is something I was going to tell y'all earlier, but I was like, let me wait. I should have enough knowledge by now to know that, especially with season 2, I feel like season 2 got a little dicier. That's y'all word sometimes.
Yeah.
Certain episodes might have been like parental, what is it? Parental advisory.
Guidelines, yeah.
So, I wanted to make sure I had listened to everything. I try to listen every Wednesday, but sometimes I don't get it in until the weekend. So I was going over all of you all's episodes, and I realized that I missed one social media one. So I was like, whatever, I'll just watch that. I'll listen to that, excuse me. I should know by now. Just the first time listening, wear earphones, because you don't know what exactly they're going to talk about. So I'm in the kitchen. I had just made my husband a protein shake, and he's holding my daughter. And he's drinking his shake, and I'm listening to y'all on speaker for whatever reason. I'm more intelligent than this, but I'm listening to y'all on speaker. And it's a social media episode, and it's Jamie's turn. You know, their social media is be what? I don't curse, guys. Unless I've had enough drinks. Be what? Don't tell me. True. Please stop. Okay. So I'm listening, and I just hear Jamie come over the speaker, and she says, so I was eating this man's A, and he had toilet crumbs in it, but mama ain't raised no B. So I'm scared to look at John at this point. I'm scared to look at John. So I turn around, and he finishes his drink. He's like, what are you listening to? I said, I'm listening to a sip and a shot. He said, that's your friend's podcast? I said, yeah. He said, the one you going on? I said, yeah. He looked at me so straight. He finished his drink. He put it down. He said, "Don't go on there embarrassing me."
And I always tell you, I want y'all's husbands to I'm a good friend.
I couldn't. Out of all the episodes, that was the last one I had to listen to on loud.
And
Had
that
to
was
be
like
y'all wildest
the
ones.
diciest one.
Yeah.
Diciest ones, but one of the funniest moments for sure. I was cracking up at something later. I'm going to bring it up later. But, you know, I've really seen a change from season 1 to season 2 in the content that you all talk about. Is that intentional, or because, like I said, in season 2, you all had one about health. You all had one about sex and sexuality. You all had one about millennial moms.
Yeah.
You had Jiva, I forget her name, on here, and she was talking spirituality. Was that change intentional, or those are just topics that you all thought were a good time to bring up?
I don't know that it was intentional. It was kind of like we knew we wanted to have guests on the show. And a lot of times we're like, oh, well, if you guys come with a topic, we're open to talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was kind of like, well, what can we fit into this month, whatever, or this like topical series? Like, how can we make this work for our guests to come in? And I think our first season, we were definitely a little nervous about what we were putting out.
Okay.
Our parents or family hearing about it.
Yeah.
Getting comfortable being on camera or being online talking about something.
Because initially we were just like online.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then we're like, okay, well, maybe we should get a YouTube up. And so I think season 2, after we had a break and people asking, can we be on the show? Can we be on the show? Can we be on the show? We're like, okay, well, let's figure out a format for it. And then the topics just came.
Okay.
Yeah.
So season 1 was more of kind of a free-for-all, and season 2 was a little more strategic?
For us, like when we initially started, like, you know, it was a lot going on in 2020. We just wanted something like between COVID, George Floyd, quarantine. We just wanted like something light and to share the crazy stories of our lives. So that's why, and to also allow people, I don't even think we thought of it, but I'm thinking it now, like just to get to know us a little bit better, or get to know us, period. And then with season 2, it's like, okay, the world is going to open back up, and B, there are other things other than like our college stories or dating stories or like parent stories that we can discuss and talk about that might be like, do you want to talk about that? Like, before it's like, I don't care, like this stuff was over, if not over 10 years, almost 10 years ago. And now it's like you're getting our real thoughts.
And I like
on
that.
it. And we
let me
wanted
tell
to
you,
like just, you know, show a different side. I don't know if it was intentional, but it was like, what are we gonna do for season 2?
And I think that was very smart, because for me, I love listening to you all, but I think a lot is the college stories and the craziness, but a lot of that might come from knowing you all. So now that you have these topics, like they're just relatable to everyone, whether they know you or not. So I think that's awesome. So with that being said, last 365 days of recording, favorite episode?
I think we asked each other this like a couple weeks ago.
And I have one already.
You have a favorite episode?
You know, actually, I'm gonna be honest. I have a couple. I love the "What About Your Friends" ones. But some of it's because I know you all. But I just love like black women that just get together and are genuine and don't have alternative motives and could just have a good time. I love listening to you all recap your friendship. But then also the Millennial Moms one, because it was just so. I needed that episode on that day. It really kind of gave me some confidence in what I was doing as a mom. I know there are other moms out there with the same questions, the same concerns, the same doubts. So I really needed that episode. And I know other people listening needed it too. So I need to know favorite episode over the past year. And I told Beej, I was like, I have questions. Should I send them to y'all early? She said I could, and I just didn't. So
no, it's fine. I think I was trying to think about this today because I felt like he was going to do like a recap. And I think we did an episode on like ghosting, submarining, cushioning. We did 2, but that first one where it was kind of like dating stories and like, is this a real thing?
Like
or
dating trends.
Dating trends.
Oh, I remember
and it was
that
like,
one.
have you been ghosted? No, I ain't been ghosted. It was just like a fun. For me, it was like a fun episode.
It was like we actually did research to like
find
the
topics.
different dating trends.
That was a fun one.
Okay.
For me, it's actually an episode that we never released.
It's not going to be released.
It's not going to be released because it's very like Jamie heavy, and it's more of our like personal one-on-one conversations. And I was like, let's just hit record and see what happens.
It might be released, but probably
I doubt it'll be released because it was like early, like because Kells would be like, hey, y'all got to figure your sound out a little better. So it's one of those like our sound wasn't figured out all the way yet. I think my favorite ones are when we get into like deep conversations that we weren't going to get into. I'm an off the cuff type of person. That's why I was like, you don't have to tell us anything because I think our episodes are better when it's just like whatever comes to mind and it's not like thought about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Favorite interview?
I want to say you, but like you're interviewing us.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah, you really are. You're like, it's great.
I appreciate it.
I think the one with Jiva talking about moving away.
Okay.
Just because, and the second part about spirituality and stuff like that. I think it was a place that the podcast hasn't touched on or anything. Yeah. But I do feel like it's a spot that we've surprisingly done a good job of finding topics that people need to hear. Yeah. So like my best friend reached out that episode and was like, that was so good, I needed to hear it, because she moved to Atlanta.
Yeah, okay.
By herself after losing her father. And so it was kind of like, that's exactly how I feel. Don't know who else I'm going to talk about this with or who has that same experience because you don't talk to people necessarily. So that was a really good one.
I think my favorite guests was Ty and Brittany and the What About Our Friends, because we've had the friend group since like our freshman year of college, and to really like get us on tape. And that wasn't even like, you know us, so we could go to level 10. That was like kind of mellow.
We
but
kept
like
it very
to
low.
Get them on tape and to like get them to, especially like our friend Brittany, who has been here for a lot of our podcasts, to express herself and just like to talk and just to, for me, because I'm sentimental, as y'all know, getting that moment on tape was just like,
that's good.
Yeah. My other favorite one was Millennial Moms.
Yeah, it was a good episode.
That was a great episode.
It was like and I always, and Kelly knows, I always go back and forth with wanting to have a child and like hearing what being a mom could possibly be like, and like what you could look forward to, because our friend has done it. That was another, and Kiana makes it look easy, but she's honest about like
her video this morning at 7 a.m.
She's very honest about it. But it's also like, I think I like it too, because I think we're raised with a generation. Our parents were the generation of, it's all about the kids. Yes. And for me, she finds a good balance of being all about her kid, but also being a woman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You know? And I think like what I wish that my parents and mother would have done was show being a woman as well. Like my mom was a great mom. Yeah. But I wish I would have seen like the woman in her more growing up. Yeah. So that's why I like. So for me, like when I think about Troy and your daughter, I don't know if you gonna put her name out there yet, but you know, like they'll be able to see like the different facets of a woman. Like a woman can be a mom. Yeah. A woman is a wife. She's a friend. She's a sister. She's a daughter. She's herself. Yeah. And I think Kiana shows that. To me, Kiana shows that.
She does. Yeah. And you're even helping me right now, because I find myself getting so lost in my daughter. Like I texted my mom the other day and I was like, this girl is really like my whole world. And my mom was like, you have a husband. That girl can't be your husband. And I'm only 30, and I needed to be reminded of that all right. So it's not easy.
And I think it's a shift in generations, because our parents' generation was probably like, yeah, that's your kid, that's your whole world. And it's like now in this millennial generation, it's like, no, you got, like, you want to keep your husband for the next 40 or 50 years. Like, that's gotta be, because a lot, like, if you remember, the divorce rates went up with our parents' generation. Yeah. But it's coming back down. It's coming back down because people are understanding, like, you have to have different lanes. It's all going down the same road, but you gotta have different lanes. You gotta be a woman, you gotta be a mom, you gotta be a wife, you gotta be a friend. But like, listen,
you can be all those things at once.
Instead of just choosing one.
Yeah. And you're not wrong for doing that.
Yeah. So this is so random, but I'm just thinking about this because of the conversation we just went into about not forgetting who you are as a woman.
Mm.
So somebody asked me this: you're at a cookout and you have to make a plate of food for your child and your husband. Who's getting the plate first?
Well, you're married, sis, so you tell us.
But sis, when they asked me this, I wasn't married, and I had an answer then, and I'll tell you this: I still have the same answer now. So I'm interested in what you think, and this is what you think you should do when you all are married with kids.
I think for me, it's kid and then husband.
Okay.
Just thinking about how my family serves food, where it's always like, okay, kids go first, and then it's like everybody, all the adults, because the kids.
Okay, well, let me
take
ask you
a
this,
little longer.
Jamie. Y'all were late to the cookout, so everybody already ate.
Yeah.
So now you just need to make a plate for you, the last one to eat.
Uh-huh.
You need to make a plate of food for your kid and your husband. Is it still kid getting food first?
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
I feel like
Depending on the age of the child.
I think it depends on
It
the age
depends
of
on
the
the age of the
child.
child.
Well, they're young enough where they can't make their own plate.
Then it's child.
Then
and
it's kid first. I think I would. And I feel like the type of husband that I would desire. We like if we had two kids, we would be making the kids plate together.
Yeah.
Like we would be making the kids plates, and then I don't mind making my man's plate
Yeah.
at all. I don't mind cooking him a meal,
Yeah.
making his plate, taking a plate, putting it in a dish,
Yeah.
and cleaning it, and having his dessert ready. Like
Yes.
I don't mind doing that, but I think when you're like when it's babies, like you gotta take care of the babies, and I find it attractive when a man takes care of his child, and then but I'm gonna make sure you're good. Like I'm not just gonna make my plate sit down. I'm gonna be like, all right,
Okay. Okay.
and then I'm like, I hate to say this, but we're black, so our moms had our plate and their plate right next to each other, and like our dads were right behind. Like it was like, okay, do you want this? So everybody ate at the same time.
Like
I
can
know.
see it the opposite way. Like if the kid's young, because like okay, you make your husband's plate, he can go sit down and eat on his own. But if your kid is young, you have to make your plate and their plate, and then feed them their plate. And so I can see it being flipped. I can see it both ways.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's yours?
I said husband.
You did.
I did.
That's why she's
And
married.
that's
I was
why-
like,
That's why she's
sitting up here
married,
single.
and we're not.
Some single Pringles.
Tell us why. Even having depending on age or
You know, and now that I'm thinking about my daughter and her personality, I'm like, that might not be smart to let her see me making somebody else food first. But let's say she had a chill personality. I was telling them earlier, my daughter's a mix between my husband with his like laid backness, but me with my extraness. My husband first, just because I think it's so important for the man to know that he's still priority. And just little things that you wouldn't think that they'd be paying attention to. Like you said, Veronica, you want to marry somebody who wouldn't make a big deal out of it, but they still appreciate that stuff, whether they say it or not.
Okay.
Something that small.
Let me
Noted.
Speaking of that.
So wait.
Oh yeah.
Because I want to dive into so like when your daughter is like 4 or 5, you're like you sit here and then dad gets his plate, and then
Or you can come with me, but we're going to get daddy his plate first.
okay. Now what if you had a son? Still
You come with me, but dad's going to get his plate.
okay.
Yeah.
Would you make it at the same time or?
I don't mind that as long as he just never feels like he's second fiddle. I don't mind that. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think that's even more of an important lesson for a son to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like even with a daughter, yes, but a son to be like, okay, like I can be first growing up in somebody's life, and they can take care of me, and it's okay.
Because we're always talking about how men should treat women, but we really don't talk about the importance of sons picking up on how they need to be treated as well and loved as well.
I disagree.
Really?
I think we live in a society that tells men and shows men exactly how they should be treated.
No,
And maybe I'm thinking like maybe not in a family view, but we live in a society that's pretty like
I think
men are first.
the society definitely puts men first, but not necessarily in a sense of love and compassion. It's a sense of your emotions have to be this, but you can be first. Your title and your salary is overall, like you could be the breadwinner, but it's a lot of times I don't know that young men grow up seeing like, okay, my mom can be herself and be compassionate to me and my father, and everybody can feel like they're loved, and everybody can see that, you know, this is their relationship, they love on each other, and it's okay for him to get a plate first. And
it doesn't diminish.
It doesn't diminish like the love that I receive because my dad's got a plate first.
Yeah.
It's like you're showing them a partnership rather than necessarily man head of the household, but he's always right and she's only doing this because of X, Y, and Z. That
I think.
I agree.
Okay. For me, whenever I get married, like Kelly said, whenever that happens, if ever that happens, I do want to show a partnership, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like men have this, like, I want my wife to do this, I want my girl to do that, this, that, and the third, and I'm not going to marry her unless she's showing that. And as women, we do so much to, like, show that we're wife material. That's why I feel like men know exactly how they desire to be treated, but we do so much to, like, because it's like, okay, I can cook, I can clean, I can do this. Now I feel like I'm almost in a place where I'm like, no, I ain't cooking, so you, like, at least a boyfriend.
I agree with that men do know exactly how they want to be treated, but what I'm saying is, and I think Jamie's saying too, is I kind of want to be the one to mold that instead of the world. They do know how they want to be treated, but I think it's because of what they see.
Yes.
Okay.
Maybe out in the world.
And that might not be the best example.
It might not be the best example.
Like, like, there's a lot out there, and I think a lot of people, because the divorce rate was so high, they didn't see that with their parents.
They just saw mom probably,
or they see it on TV, or you see it in a movie, and that's not the best example as we see now dating, you know, on social media. And it's like having a real world or real life example of that is, I feel like, better, especially if it's positive, than what somebody can pick up at school, or because somebody wants to be an alpha male online talking about a girl need to do this, a woman need to do that. Okay, do it at home.
Yeah.
This is giving me, like, coming from a wife. My girl is a wife. Like, okay, maybe I should, like,
Let me see.
like, hold the baby. I'll make sure your plate is made, and then, like, you can feed the baby. But okay.
Yeah. I don't know if you all have seen those memes. It's like a lot of memes or even posts that are coming up that's like, stop telling girls to act a certain way. Start teaching your sons to treat them as, I forget how it is exactly, but start putting some of the accountability on the boys now. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. So.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Okay. Right. Yeah. So then that made me think the other episode that I felt like was right on time, because it's been such like a tense time in America racially. This past year, we all know, like, the biggest name is George Floyd, but it's been just so much even more than him. So I never forget, you all dropped the episode called Black Love.
Yes.
That
was another favorite.
Where
I was
mentally, I was just so worn out from being black in America. I just was tired of what it felt like being black in America. And I heard that episode, and at the end of that episode, I remember that it is nothing better than being black.
Yes.
That's how I felt when I got done listening to that.
Good.
Yes.
It was just so uplifting. It was exactly what I needed in that moment. So I think that's a very close favorite for me too.
That's a
Very
good.
good.
I feel like I totally forgot about that episode.
No, that that was one of the ones I posted where I was like, this was good.
I remember that.
It
And
was.
I think because, like you said, like when we started this, it was right after the George Floyd and the protests and the quote-unquote riots and all of that.
And trying to be black at work.
And trying to be black at work.
It's
Trying to figure out how angry, or like how to, not how angry, but how to place your anger when you're on calls and it's just getting like grazed. Like working in corporate America, you're like 5% minority. Like to just have that grazed over, you're just supposed to be like, okay.
Or to hear people talk about it. Or like hearing people of other races talk about it, and like they might be saying the right thing, but sometimes it's just like, I am tired of, like, I don't want to talk about this today. I don't want to be on this call today. I didn't want to get out of bed today. But here we are. And let me turn my camera off. So I can fix my face and my attitude, or like gather myself. And it was, trying to keep this podcast light, or, a positive place for people to go when things might be hard, is something that's very important to us.
Which is exactly, that's why we started. It's like, it's so much heavy stuff. And we can give you 30 to 45 minutes, now an hour plus, of just like, what in the world are they talking about? Or, yes, or, okay, I feel that.
Yeah.
Then that was, for me, that was our motivation. Because we are more, what I've learned is we're more alike than different across races, but even we go through a lot of the same experiences. So sometimes you just need to laugh and be like, these girls are off out of their minds, but okay, we'll move on. Like,
just an escape from reality for a little bit.
Black Love was fun.
It was a good
That
one.
was awesome.
Yeah.
That was, I might have listened to that one like back to back because it was just so good. Yeah.
The other one I like was Black Girl Magic.
Yeah.
Because we talked about our moms.
Yeah, that was a good one too.
Yeah.
I did like that. I might have even posted that one,
You
honestly.
did, because our girl be supporting
Yes.
us.
Okay.
I did like that one. So I'm going to transition to another topic.
Okay.
And this makes me nervous because we were upstairs and Veronica was saying, we could talk about anything, like we're open. And I was like, I don't know. I think I have something that might be a little touchy. And I'm really nervous to bring this up. This is just a touchy topic in general.
I don't think it's on camera, but yeah.
Thank you. This is a touchy topic in general, but for friends, it's like, I remember I started this job and the CEO was like, make sure you never talk about finances, religion, or I can't remember what the third one was. Politics.
Yeah.
So I was listening to, what is it? Peace versus righteousness?
Oh, rightness.
Rightness.
Yes.
Woo. And
I forgot that we put like helium
We
in
tried
that.
one balloon with helium.
Righteousness.
okay. And, Jamie brought up that I think you were talking to somebody who didn't agree with letting your child have a gay friend. You cut them off immediately. So you all kept going with the conversation. And I know everybody has a different stance on how you feel about that. But where I start to get a little gray area or where it's hard for me to really start to relate and understand is when we start trying to compare the Black struggle to the homosexuality struggle. And you made a comment in that episode where you were like, well, that's like if you are friends with a racist, but you say, well, I'm not racist. And you were trying to compare pretty much like, well, if you're friends with somebody that has that mindset, then birds of a feather fly together. But the reason why I say this is, for example, the job that I'm on, Black History Month, we got maybe like 3 emails with different events we were having virtually. Pride Month, we get an email
all the time,
every other day.
Yeah.
So it's like, I just don't, when I hear people try to compare the Black struggles, and that's because they're both a struggle, to be very honest. But I do think that there are some differences.
Oh, definitely.
Let me say this. It is a definite difference because I do have people who I know who are gay and lesbian, and my comment to them when they do try to compare like the Black experience to their experiences, when I walk out, you know I'm Black.
Are these are white people then?
Yeah.
Oh.
Absolutely. At my job, I've been at my job for a while, and there's a man there who is gay, older white gay male, and we had a good relationship, and so when I don't hate to say this, I don't know who was shot by the police, but he wanted to like go out to lunch just to talk about it.
Okay.
And so
it was a Black person shot by the police?
It was a black male, young male shot by the police. And so he wanted to talk about it, and he felt comfortable enough like asking me, like, he's older, probably like in his 50s, 60s, just to talk about it. He came out after 25 years of marriage kind of situation. So he was saying,
you say he's gay?
Yeah, he's gay.
Oh, okay.
So he was in the lunch conversation, he was just saying, I understand because being a gay man, I had that same type of discrimination. I said, here's the thing. When I walk out of my door, I'm a Black woman. No questions. When you walk out of your door, if you don't want people to know that you're gay, they will never know that you're gay.
Yeah.
So I do think there's a difference. It's all a struggle, but there's a difference between a minority struggle, a Black, African American living in America. There's a struggle that, and this might not be right, but that no one will understand. No one will ever understand, and no one will have the same feeling.
Yeah.
But I also do believe that there is a struggle for people who love, like how you love is questioned. I think that's a struggle.
Okay.
So, and I don't think it's a good struggle. Like, I don't think it's a right struggle to have. Like I always say, what you eat don't make me shit. Like, who you love does not take away anything from me. So that's why, it doesn't bother me in that sense.
Okay.
But there is a clear difference between, And if that's what anyone got from that episode, I'm glad I can.
Yeah, that's what's hard with shooters is like 15 minutes is kind of like get all your points out, and you know how our minds work, where we might end up on like a whole different thing. Yeah. Like that episode was I don't know how we got to.
And now, like after the episode, I'm like, Veronica, do you want peace over being ready? Like it makes you question it. Like,
oh no, that was one episode where I was just shaking my head at y'all, but I was like, you know, these are my girls.
Is that clarity though?
No, that was like, and I wasn't talking about. You already cleared that up. I'm talking about what y'all choosing whether you're gonna do peace or right. I was like, y'all are a trip.
Yeah,
a trip.
Yeah,
y'all really.
But
are.
you know me.
Yeah, I do.
I was telling her the funniest part is her being like, I'm gonna put my big girl panties on and answer maturely, and then she still chose peace. And I was like, being right, yeah. And I was like, okay.
But with the conversation we had earlier today, which I'm not going to share right now, I'm like, do you want, like, would you, like, peace and happiness? Would you want to choose that over being right?
Correct, yeah.
But it's like, if you're not right, then you'll be settling. But, like, does your settling make you, all right, anyway. Go ahead, go with the next one.
So, you know, peace versus right, and that shooter, you all were kind of talking about in a relationship.
Yeah.
Do you have the same mind frame to friendships as well? I don't know if you've ever gotten into it with friends where it had to be, like, peace versus right. But do they get a little bit more leniency than... Because I feel like we tend to give people we're dating a really hard time. Like, one and done. Jamie, you sound like you're a one and done person.
Oh, no, that was a... So, clarification on that. I'm the type of person that if I feel like you're saying something wrong, I'm going to ask clarifying questions. Like, I'm going to be like, okay, but what about this situation? What about that situation? And, like, even still, I'm like, I could see why you feel that way.
Okay.
And that situation, it was very, like, close to me. Like, one of my friends I've known since kindergarten. And I'm like, if my parents took a different direction on that friendship, we still wouldn't be where we are today. And, like, see each other for birthdays, see each other for New Year's. That's my girl since the sandbox. And that one hit a little harder, I think, in relationships and friends. I think with friends, maybe because of the time spent, there's more leniency on the, like I have friends that I disagree with often on a good number of topics. And I'm like, I can say what I have to say. We're not going to agree.
Yeah. If you had that disagreement with Veronica, the one about having a friend that's gay at a young age, is Veronica getting cut off, even after she clarifies that she stands firm, is she getting cut off like the guy got cut off, or?
Our friendship would definitely be different. Okay. I'll say that. It would not be, we might not be doing this podcast.
Okay.
Type of thing.
Okay.
That was I was just sitting there like thinking about and I think it's the way that, so the topic was, for the people that haven't, people that haven't listened to it, it was, I have a lesbian friend, even though she does not like being identified like that, who came out to me in middle school, high school. Was like, don't tell your mom. I don't want your mom to look at me differently. I don't want her to feel like we've known each other since we were preschool, like 3 years old, 4 years old. And me being who I am and the relationship I have with my mom, I was like, Mom,
I'm gonna tell my mom.
I have to tell my mom because I don't know how to process it. And she didn't want to come out to me because she thought I was not, like, I would judge her. I wouldn't want to be her friend anymore. And my mom was like, that's like my second child. She can always come here, even if her mom doesn't want her home. Like, she can always come here. She's always welcome here. If she needs a place to hang out, that's fine. And thankfully for me, I was like, my mom was okay with that. And I can understand people not being okay with that, but the stuff that guy was saying when we talked about, he was like, well, they might be in the room trying to sleep with my child, and, you know, you got to watch them, and they always doing this and doing that. And I was like, no.
He was getting a little ignorant.
He was being really ignorant. And I'm sitting there like, I have a friend who I've known for years.
Longer than you.
And I'm not going to put her in a situation where she feels uncomfortable. Or for me to sit in a room with you and her and have you thinking these thoughts. Like, oh, she's tried something with you because y'all went to the bathroom together. Like, fool, no. Okay. And that's where that relationship got cut off. Okay. If it was I don't feel comfortable because, like, I just don't want my child to be in that situation at this age. Cool.
That's different. Okay.
That's different. But when you get ignorant or you're saying things that are unsounded or misogynistic or super closed-minded, that's where I'm like, I'm not choosing peace because you are wrong and you can go. Because I'm going to choose my friends and family over somebody that I've just spent a little bit of time with.
I'm glad that you gave that clarity because like you said, in the shooter, it's real quick. So you don't have time to really dive in. But what it sounded like on the listener's perspective is Jamie doesn't agree with what somebody said. Not somebody, a man she's dating. You're not that cold towards friends. What a man she's dating said, so he's done. That's what it sounded like.
Yeah,
it didn't sound like,
that.
well, let's try to get to the root of this. Let me try to understand you better.
Yeah,
So I'm glad you cleared that up.
A guy be like, I don't want to be around your friends anymore. Like, I never want to see them again. And I'm like, okay. Do you mean like you only want to come to large events like birthdays, weddings, christenings, birthday, like that? He's like, no. Okay. Have you, like, did you grow up in a household where your parents had friends that are adults? No, I didn't. Okay. If I want to go out like 4 times a year with my friends, are you going to come or do I have to go by myself? He's like, you can go by yourself. I was like, even if that hurts my feelings that she won't go with me. He was like, yeah, that just doesn't sit right with me. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call it cut.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to cut that.
Yeah.
And that's where it's like, I'll always ask clarifying questions. Because I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. Like, we might be communicating wrong.
Okay.
A lot of these fools ain't communicating
Yeah.
wrong. And then they come back and be like, that's not what I said. I'm like, no.
That's exactly what you said.
No, because I know me. I'm going to ask some questions. I'm going to interview you.
Yeah.
Get to the bottom of it.
For me, I think, for your question of like, do I hold my friends to the same standards that I hold my significant other to? I think I hold my friends to higher standards because the friends that I have in my life have been my friends, some over 20, everyone over 10. And so I couldn't, like, my friends at this point are like my family. So I wouldn't be able to like cut them off. I know we all have different opinions, but we still have like the same values and morals in a sense. And I think if that, and I think we're all like listeners and we understand each other. So because of that, I don't see me like cutting, like people I call my friend, I'm not gonna cut you off. Like if you're just like an acquaintance, be like, I ain't really like that. Like I'm good on you. Like I know where to place you. And sometimes I think like, do we give men more chances than we would ever give our friends? And at this point in my life, I think everyone would get like the same chance.
Okay.
Like, I think it would be fair because I remember I was talking to my brother once and he was like, it just doesn't make sense to me. Like, why would give someone I've only known a year? And I married them. Like, would I give them my like? Would they have the right to like say take me off of life support? And I was telling him, I was like, yes. When you marry your girlfriend, it doesn't matter what I think, your mom thinks, or your brothers think you should do. If she decides she doesn't want you on life support, that's it, in game. Yeah. And that's how it's supposed to be. So you need to do whatever you need to do for yourself to open yourself up for that. But I think me personally, my friends are my family. So I'm always going to try to understand them, respect them. I don't want them not in my life. Okay. So I'm not going to cut them out of my life. Anyone I meet at this point and later, like if I made it this far without you, I'm good.
Look, do you have the belief of like no new friend? Like you're at the age with no new friends?
No.
Okay.
No, I think this is actually a topic that we had. I don't know if we have it coming up, but it's like in our list of things to talk about. But like having new friends, like do you want new friends? How to make new friends? Yeah. Like being in college is really easy to meet friends. People, but like now it's like this is it. Like
we're hearing like friend horror stories from other people where it's like very thankful that our friend group is what it is and the people that they are. Where it's kind of like everybody gives and reciprocates the same type of love or can understand people giving different type of love. Yeah. Where I know there's a lot of people out there where they're like, oh, you guys do that together? That's weird. And it's like, that's just how we operate. It's like, what do you mean? And we didn't have to have a conversation to be like, I got this, you got that, I got your back, it's fine. It was kind of like understood after a while.
Yeah.
I can see how these conversations could just go totally in a different direction because I have another question. I
Yeah,
had
go
no idea.
Go ahead. We got an hour, surprisingly.
So we're at an hour.
Hour and 4 minutes. Yeah.
We are doing a part 2, so
Don't worry about
don't
it.
worry about it. If you
Yeah,
want to ask this question,
I do.
and then you want to.
I do. And then dang it, hold on. Now I have to remember what it was. So we were just talking about friends. Oh God, I hate when this happens.
You would like, do your friends get more chances?
More chances. I can't remember, but so I had, while I think about this, I had something I want to queue up. I don't know if you all want me to do this now or if you want it to be the shooter, but I have my 3 favorite moments from the past season because I didn't know it was a whole year, and I just wanted your initial reaction to hearing yourself. Jamie doesn't like to hear her voice. I know
really
this isn't going to be fun.
Let's do that as a shooter.
Okay.
You want to do it now?
We can do a shooter.
Let's do that as a shooter.
Okay, but give me 2 seconds to think about. Do you all take commercial breaks? 'Cause I've had these. Hey y'all, I'm having fun,
Yes.
child, and this is without a drink. Okay.
See?
So we were just talking about friends. So I have a question. So I have a couple friends, but one in general who struggles with how some of her friends act. She feels like some of her friends can be a little sketchy, a little unreliable, whatever. So for example, she had a falling out with one of her close friends. The 3 of them were friends, but the guy only knew her close friend through her. So her and the close friend had a falling out, but the guy remained cool
with the
friend. So she wanted to cut the guy off, and I told her, I was like, well, you know, I feel like you could put friends in certain boxes. Like maybe this is the friend that you have for this reason, that reason. And she said, I, at this age, don't want to have to box in my friends. Either you're a friend that checks all the boxes, or maybe you're not really a friend. And obviously the boxes wouldn't be too specific, but it's just like I can rely on you.
Yeah.
I can trust you.
Yeah.
I want to know, do you all believe that it is smart or even feasible, we're all 30 sitting on this couch, to have friends that we can kind of label? Or at this age, it's either you're a cohesive friend or you're not a friend.
I think you got different. I do think you got different friends for different shit.
Okay.
In the sense of different things. In the sense of, like, if I know I want to go to a party and like get wasted and like flirt and talk, like get a table. I know all of my friends can do that, but like if I was the type of person that wants to do that like every other weekend, that's my friend.
You know who to call.
Like I know who to call.
Yeah.
But like that checks all the boxes. I think now I'm thinking about like all of my friends, like anything that I needed or wanted or desired from a friend, all of my friends, like all of them would check those boxes.
But let me ask you this. So your friend that you know you can call to go out and party every other weekend, but is that because the rest of the friendship is really solid? If you felt like, oh, she's not that dependable, or I don't know if I can trust her with my secrets, but I still want to party with her.
All of my friends are trusted with my secrets.
Right.
And I think that's why, for me, it's really hard to call you a friend unless you can be trusted with that. Like, I'm really, like, I'm not going to just give that title to anyone. I'm not just going to be like, oh, this is my friend so-and-so.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
you're
this is
very locked down
very
on that
specific
friend
on friends.
title.
Yeah.
And if I call you my friend, it's like, if not the level of family, almost at the level of family. And you have to check those boxes for me.
Can I take a quick pause? How are y'all's drinks?
Good.
Not sure. Are they supposed to be done within the episode, or do they carry over?
No,
to
it's
the...
okay.
It just depends.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll say for me, I don't know that to be my friend you have to check every single box I would want a friend to check. Like I have a close-knit circle of friends. Everybody in there checks those boxes.
Okay.
But then you kind of have like friends that are in different categories. Like, yeah, you can call them, have a conversation, talk about something. But like BJ says, you have different friends for different stuff. Like if I wanted to call and talk about something, I could. If I wanted to check them about something, I could and be like, hey, this is a problem that I'm seeing. But I think as we get older, it also comes with the understanding that everybody's upbringing, everybody's personality, everybody's background is different.
Yeah.
And the things that I expect for you might not be things that you know of or understand or can appreciate. And that's fine. And as your friend, I can take you as you are. And if you you don't fit in that category for me and I don't hit that category for you, that's cool.
Okay.
And we don't want to be friends. But if we are at a point where it's like, yeah, you're my friend, even though you're not my party friend, or I know at 2 a.m. you're not going to answer the phone, like, I'm not the friend to call at 7 a.m. Like, unless you're dying, don't call me. Don't call me before 10. I tell them. I'm like...
I remember one episode where I think Veronica called you early. You must have known something was wrong because she knew not to call you. I feel like...
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like not the friend before 10 a.m. If you're not dying or you need like immediate assistance, I'm not that person for you.
Okay. I remember I like got into an argument with my ex about something, and it had like carried over. And James is like, she didn't have to be at work until like 9, 10 o'clock, but I was like up at 7, so I'm calling her on my way, and I was like, hey, like I'm whispering, hey, I know you're asleep, but I really need
like
to talk
in
to you.
bed.
She's like, okay, hold on.
Okay.
What's up?
Like, I will pull it, and I will tell people that I'm like, I am not that person.
Yeah.
I have somebody that would call me on the way to work, and I'm like, unless...
She told somebody to call me.
I did. That was Brittany. And I felt so bad after the fact. I was like, are you dying? Do you need immediate assistance?
She's like,
call
no.
Veronica.
I remember that.
She was like, no, I'm just walking to work. Call Veronica.
Yeah.
And I hung up the phone, and I was like, I know who I am to be like, this is not me. I'm not that type of person. I really try, like the picture thing. I'm not the person that's going to take the pictures a bunch of times. Don't put me in that category because you will be disappointed, and I'm not going to shift too far out of my comfort zone.
Okay.
So that's what
I give you 3, but 2 is my bad.
Yeah, I was like, once you be like, same face, same pose 12 times, I'm passing the phone.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just check my phone and make sure that I hit everything I wanted to hit this episode. I don't mind saving some for part 2.
Save some for part 2, girl.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that's good. That's good. I think that's some of these parts. Yeah.
Okay, you got parts? Okay, okay.
Very exciting. Well,
happy podcast-versary.
Podcast-versary. We're here a year.
Yes.
I mean, a break in December. Maybe.
Yeah, I was going to say like a break in December. That break was needed. But I will say the break was needed.
It was needed. Yeah. It was definitely too long.
It was too long.
Because we didn't know what we was doing coming back.
Yeah.
Like, how do we even start this?
How long was the break?
It was like a month.
6, 8. No, it was longer.
A month and a half.
Because we didn't release anything. We did episodes during it, but we didn't release it. Yeah.
But it's also, because of COVID, my family quarantined 2 weeks before Christmas. And so that was like December 12th was our last episode with the girls.
Yeah.
And we did
quarantine. Did we quarantine for Thanksgiving?
Yeah, but we pre-recorded. Yeah. So it was like December 12th, I think might have been the last episode we did. Okay. Up until January 26th. Yeah. Okay. So that was too long.
Okay. Well, I'm going to let you all close out, but I just want to say, as a fan of the show, that I thank you all for it. I felt like it was 2 things that really kind of lifted my spirits in quarantine. One of them was Kim's Convenience on Netflix. Yes. And then A Sip and a Shot. So, I've had laughs, I've been informed, I've been uplifted, and I hope you all just keep going because it's a great, great show. I really enjoy it.
The highlights are like Thursdays and Fridays when I get a text from Kells and she'll send the eyes and she'll send like girl and then she'll send a voice note and I was like, okay, let me get ready. And we're like talking back and forth, and we thank you for your like support. I remember the first email she sent. You were our first email that we ever got, and we were so excited. We were like, okay, we have to do this. We have to answer these questions. Yeah, it's been a
I feel famous when y'all name drop me. I be feeling
really?
so tight.
Because she's like, Kelly's gonna kill you, and I'm like. She'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm gonna clarify one of these episodes when I come back because I ain't no kidnapper. Let me get closer to the mic.
I ain't no kidnapper.
I'm gonna clarify that. But other than that episode, because you said my full name.
Yeah. Yes.
I like to be name dropped. That's cool.
It was like season 1. We were like no names. We're gonna keep it very like.
That wasn't season 1.
No.
Halloween wasn't season 1.
Oh, it was
season 1.
Right.
Yeah, it was like towards the end.
Towards the end.
That's why I was like looking at her crazy because she was like name dropping, and
I'm
like,
yes, she was.
Kiana. I was not.
Were y'all on YouTube at that point?
Yes. No. Yeah, we were.
You recorded that one?
Yeah.
I gotta look at that.
We had the Scream.
We did because we did like a Burgundy preview kind of.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah, and she was like, we always say no name dropping, and VJ is the first one to drop a name, and I'm looking at her like,
because when the drinks start flowing, like I can't be like this person. I'm like, it's Kelly or it's Kiana.
yeah,
Like period. Like it's just.
and that's one of my
And
worst shots was a screamer.
At
I was like, because that was straight alcohol, and I was like, what?
And embalming fluid was another good drink.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember it looked nasty.
No,
It was
that
like
was the
green.
brain hemorrhage that
Oh,
was nasty.
yeah.
But the other one was But no, we can clarify that on the next one because
we
I did not lie.
Okay.
And we'll
I'll speak my truth.
Okay.
You
We
have to.
appreciate this so much.
It
That
was really
so
fun.
This was great.
So
This was great.
different.
This is so fun. Yeah. I'm excited.
I'm excited too.
Guys, this is our anniversary episode. Special shout out to Killer Kells.
Yeah.
James. Oh, this is the helium one.
Yeah.
We made it a year, girl.
Made it a year.
Cheers to us.
Yeah.
And all the word.
Yeah.
And we're still friends, because some people do shit and they're not friends.
Yeah.
no more, but
Oh, yeah.
We're still
We're
friends.
still friends. Holding on.
Holding on.
So much more to come in year 2.
Yes.
Got some like secret stuff happening.
Cool.
Popping off.
Hey, I'm still waiting for a sip and a shot tasting. I asked y'all
Oh, yeah.
a while
Let's say
ago.
that.
Now
Yeah.
outside is starting to open
Open
back
up.
up. So
When
Yeah.
we have some things in store.
Okay.
We'll
Yes.
say that. We do
Okay.
have some
We
things
have
in
some stuff
store.
in store.
And you will be, she's like our, like, do you think this is like, okay, this is what we did, this is what we're planning on doing, but we got a few things, but we'll add that to the list. 'Cause
Yeah.
we love a sip and a shot.
Yeah.
And we love like when people text us and call us and tell us about stuff.
Yeah.
All right, girl. Happy podcast anniversary.
Happy podcast anniversary.
It's VJ.
It's Jane.
And this is
A Sip